Yeah, this recipe is very simple compared to most of my recipes. We're going to begin with a cup of milk, and this is going to go in the microwave for 30 seconds. Depends on your microwave. You want it warm. You want it slightly warmer than body temperature. Do not want it boiling. And as soon as it's at temperature, we're going to add the yeast and the sugar to it. First, get it hot. This is the mixer bowl for the stand mixer. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar to this, and I'm going to add the milk. And the milk is actually, was microwaved for about 45 seconds. It's a little bit hotter than I actually want it to be, which is, it's easier to cool it off than it is to get it hot again. And now I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of distilled water to this. Or you can use any other good quality water. Just don't use tap water if your tap water is not very good, because chlorine will kill yeast. Now it's the temperature, just check it. It's just slightly above body temperature, which is what you want. And now I'm going to add an entire package of yeast to this. These come in fairly standard packs. Even in Russia, the package size is about the same. So we're going to add 1 pack of this. Give it a swirl. I'm going to cover this with a damp towel and let it stand for about 15 minutes. That's a longer rising time than you usually give it, but this will help it in the long run, about 15 minutes. Having been 15 minutes now, we're going to look at it, and as you can see, there's a lot of foam on top. At this point, we're going to crack an egg into this and transfer it to the stand mixer. And as you can see, I have the stand mixer equipped with the dough hook. I'm going to mix this around a little bit, and then I'm going to begin adding flour to it. And the exact amount of flour that you add cannot be determined. It's going to be maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 cups in all, but it's very difficult to tell. You have to just see how it goes as you're working. And this is really the only tricky part to this whole recipe, is getting the dough to the right consistency. I'm going to add some salt at this point too, while it's still very liquid. And don't be afraid to add the flour. It'll only suck up what it needs, basically. As this stirs, it begins to, you can see there's flour stuck around the sides. So sometimes you have to turn off the mixer for a minute, scrape down the sides, start it up again. And you can hear it begins to feel the pressure. The stand mixer will begin to feel the amount of force that it takes in order to stir this around. That's a good thing. Now stop adding flour and just let it keep kneading for a while. You can see what this looks like. This is the trickiest part to this whole operation. You have to get the right amount of flour in it. Don't overdo it. Let it knead. If you put too much in, it's not kneading efficiently. If you don't put enough in, it's not kneading at all. It's just stirring around a pool of liquid. This is exactly the right consistency you want it to be at while it's doing the majority of the kneading. Take a look at this and try to remember it. I'm going to let it knead like this for about 10 solid minutes. Now, during this time, you may need to add a little sprinkle of flour here and there, especially if you see the dough starting to creep up the sides of the dough hook. You don't want it to be stuck on the dough hook, and adding a little bit of flour, just a tablespoon or so, will cause it to loosen and begin kneading again. Add a little more flour. Thing to pay attention to is to make sure the dough isn't just spinning around in the bowl, and to make sure that it's not, you don't have a giant pile of flour in the bottom of the bowl that's not being incorporated. You want to have most of the flour in the dough. A few crumbs in the bottom's okay, but you want it to be kneading the flour into the dough at all times. And ideally, at the end of 10 minutes, this is what you want to end up with. There's a solid, massive dough that's kind of being slammed from side to side in the bowl by the dough hook. it's very solid at this point, and now it needs a little bit of hand kneading. Okay, almost all the work has been done for us by the machine. Really, we just want to tighten this up, squeeze all the air pockets out of it, make sure that it's a nice coherent mass, and then we're going to leave it to rise the first rise. It's going to have a total of 2 rises here. This is a good looking piece of dough. We don't have to make a work of art out of it. I'm going to use the same bowl that we used for mixing it. It's fine. And this is a damp towel. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to leave it to rise for at least an hour. You want it to make sure that the dough rises at least double in volume. It's been about 30 minutes so far, and the dough has risen up once. I'm going to punch it down, and we're going to let it rise one more time before we divide it out and start getting the naans ready. Now, while this dough is rising, we're also going to make our garlic oil for this. I pulled out about 4 ounces of oil from a deep fryer that was used for cooking shrimp. You can just use fresh oil. In a restaurant, we try to reuse everything, and oil from a deep fryer gets reused for things like this that are strongly seasoned. So within a few minutes, the garlic starts bubbling like this, and when the oil gets this temperature, let it bubble for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to pour it off to a bowl and just let it sit there. Let the garlic cool down in the very hot oil, and that's going to sit there and cool for about half an hour. And here we have it in a glass bowl cooling down. We're just going to let it sit like this until it gets quite cool, because if we try to grind it up like this in the plastic cup with the stick blender right now, it's just going to melt the cup and the stick blender. The dough has risen back up again, and now we're going to take this and form little balls about, I don't know, depends on how big a naan you want, of course, but about like this, just so it fits in your hand. I don't know, bigger than a golf ball, but not too much bigger. And we're going to set these on a plate or platter with a slightly damp towel over them and let them rise some more. And in the meantime, this oil is now completely cooled down. Put that in there and blend this with the garlic. Now this is the oil that we're going to use for cooking the naans, this garlic oil. Yeah, it's been a little bit longer. As you can see, these have expanded in size considerably from the near golf ball size they were originally. Now we're going to take these and put them on a floured board, work surface anyway, and flatten them out. You can use a rolling pin. If you want to be really traditional, you'll just use your hands, but the rolling pin does a neater job of it. Meanwhile, hopefully you've got a hot cast iron pan set up by now. This pan is about 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're going to brush it with that garlic oil we made earlier, liberally, and also add some salt to the pan. And the dough goes in. Now it gets approximately 2 minutes per side, but I cannot give you an exact timing because it will depend on your stove and a lot of other factors. You just have to watch it. Watch for it puffing up. We'll come back in about 1 minute here and see what it looks like. Okay, you can see these bubbles forming on the other side. And now what I'm going to do with a pair of tongs, I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to re-oil first side, flip it over. And then you just have to keep watching it, see what it looks like on the other side. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes here, and this is looking pretty good. This is nice and puffed up. You put a little bit of butter on this, it's going to be delicious with your curry. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.